A Universal Studios theme park is coming to Great Britain in 2031, and after the super exciting news that was revealed the other week with that entire concept art that was revealed, me being someone who likes to recreate certain rides and roller coasters and theme parks in games, decided to start building a recreation of Universal Studios Great Britain in Planet Coaster 2. Building the entire front plaza as you walk in, you see the Universal Studios globe and the nice entrance behind, entering into what is a main street to a lake in the center of the park. And today, we're gonna start building that main street. So join me as I time-lapse this entire process of building it, and then go into real time to show you all around. So be sure to watch till the end, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. These recreations and stuff take a long time to make, so any support like that would be greatly appreciated. And you'd probably greatly appreciate it if I actually got onto this time-lapse as we are now. Welcome back to episode 2 of building the UK's most exciting new theme park ever in Planet Coaster 2. Yes, we're back for episode 2. It's been a little while. I know if you watched my previous videos or any videos recently, you'll know that I have been on holiday, so I haven't been able to focus on this or Isle of Discovery for some time, but it's good to be back. One episode of this past week in theme parks has gone out. This series is coming back. There's going to be a field episode next week. Or if you don't know what the field is, we go to the actual site and talk about the entire project and all the rides and anything like news related that's happening. So give that a watch if you haven't already. But I'm doing so much promo. We're here on Planet Coaster 2, building the start of the main street. Last episode, as said, we built the entire first plaza area. Once you've gone through security and you scan your tickets, you go in, you see this amazing archway behind the Universal Studios globe, and then you enter the park, which is where you'll have this fountain, and from this fountain, the main street. You'll see me bugging, because my brain was not working properly when I first started building this again, because it's been a very long time, so obviously recreating it, I think we're 3 weeks almost from when I first started building this. Yeah, my brain is a little bit frazzled with trying to recreate stuff again, so I was getting used to it, and I think it turned out pretty well, so you'll see it all come to life in this video. What I do need to preface is that the whole of the main street will not come to life in this video, because only half of it is done so far. And it's a pretty simple reason for that, although we will get past this eventually, because it's probably the first problem we've come about with this build and series. Pretty much, if you look at the concept art, I'll try and throw it up on screen, but I forgot last time, so don't quote me on that. If you look at the concept art, you can see it's from a certain angle, where you can only see the right-hand side of the main street. You can see the lovely, like, blue and very colourful buildings, but also very, like, it looks a bit Mediterranean or Hollywood, you know what I mean? And you can see all those buildings. But the other side, the left-hand side, if you're walking down there towards the lake, the left-hand side where the hotel is, you can't see any of those buildings. You can see some rooftops, you can sort of work out what they might be. It is the back of that hotel, but we don't know for certain. So, in this episode, I'm sticking to what we know. So I am building that entire right-hand side of the main street, and I'm even putting the lake in at the bottom. Yes, wow, water! I love water! Water is amazing, but I don't know why I was going into it that deep. But yes, the lake is going in. But yes, this right-hand side is the bit I'm building. Not going to be touching the left-hand side at all today, just because I don't want to get it wrong right now. I want to build some more stuff that we know, and then focus on the stuff that we don't know. So that main street, as much as, yeah, again, it could probably be done nearer the time that the new concept art comes out, and oh, look, you've got the concept of the whole hotel, that whole left-hand side. That will take years to come out. I don't want to wait, so I will be doing it probably in the next couple episodes, but we're focusing on the side we know now. This building then is one of the ones on the diagonal as you come in, just past the fountain that's there as well. And this is a strange building because it looks really futuristic, but at the same time, it has a similar colour scheme and sort of shape to the Bourne Stuntacular building in Orlando. And I don't really know what to think of that, because I don't think it will be that. But it's always fun to speculate, I guess. I don't think, again, that is going to be what that building is. It's probably going to be like a guest services or one of those generic things you get. Maybe it's just a grand entrance for some toilets. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be the Bourne Stuntacular. I just noticed it's a little bit similar in that sort of vibe. To the right of that, you have more Hollywood-style buildings, and I believe that will probably be maybe some lockers or, again, toilets, something like that. And a lot of foliage around is what I'm noticing on these concept arts. Well, this singular concept art. Obviously, again, gonna preface this. I prefaced it last time, and we preface it every time we talk about it on the field. This is definitely not the final concept art. I'm not gonna lie to you. This entire project that I'm building right now will probably be pointless, because by the time I finish it, it will have completely changed. But that's the fun of it. I really like seeing the concept art for what it is now, building it in this game, seeing what it's like, and then when we get the updates, going back in and changing things. Like, I don't care if I build a whole area and spend so much time on it, and then suddenly, oh, it's actually turned into Lord of the Rings, it's not Shrek anymore. I'll build that. I don't mind. This project could take up to the next 6 years of my life, which is really sad, but there you go. It's fun nonetheless. We might even see Planet Coaster 3 in that time. I don't know. Here's some of the foliage going in. As you can see, some big palm trees, again, Hollywood style. And yeah, so the building after this one, this is the one I said about the toilets. The one after is a very small building, followed by what looks to be a definite cinema/theatre style building, and you can definitely see that from just the little white cover that's over the entrance. But again, I'll build that later, you'll see that for yourself. And obviously past then there's shops that they look to be, and other stuff like balconies, and it's so beautiful. There's a clock tower, there's so much stuff, but we're building the back end of that nearer the entrance, so let's talk about that later when we're actually building that. It's so strange though, isn't it? Like, we sit here, I know the Universal rumour has been a big thing anyway. There was that whole entire week or two where, when the first concept art came out, we all just sat there in awe of it. We were like, oh my god, we're actually getting this. This is ridiculous. And it's actually sort of sunk in now, a little bit. Obviously, every single time I build this or I look at the concept, I'm like, I still can't believe we're getting this. But it feels more normal now. It felt like such a shock back then, but now it's like, yeah, I know, we're getting Universal. It's like, it's still so crazy to me. And the amount of like videos I've made on it, like speculating, of course, again, mainly in the field episodes, even having Chris Curtis, the MP of Milton Keynes North, on that, which gave some really good insight into the fact that we're going to get a new investment here, potentially every 2 years, which was huge news to us. We'd never heard that anywhere. I don't even know if he was supposed to tell us that, but he did, and he was an absolute legend. And all of you guys in the comments were saying you absolutely loved that episode, so definitely going to get some more guests on, whether it be sort of like that, because obviously very good insight from a different direction that's not just a theme park enthusiast, but at the same time might get some of our friends on, or maybe other creators. I don't know. I'm not promising anything yet, but yeah, the field does live on as it always has done. But there you go, and you can listen to that on Spotify too. Wowzers! Back to Planet Coaster 2 then. I know a lot of you guys do want to see Isle of Discovery as well. I built my Mack Hyper Coaster there. Lagging like hell. It's really nice to, again, have a park like this that is not lagging at all, because there's nothing in it yet. Although, when I first loaded up the park, I assume because there was an update or two since I had last loaded it up, I did have a few lag spikes, and I was like, oh my god, there's not anything in this park. Why is it lagging so much already? But we're fine, as you'll see in real time when we go to that. But as we develop this park onwards into the new areas and stuff, it probably will start lagging again. But talking of new areas then, what's the plan with this park? Last time I just built the plaza area, of course. This time we're building the right hand side of this main street. If I can stay in the mindset of recreating, like I explained before, once you've been away from the game for a while, if you have done recreations in the past, you'll know it's a lot tougher than just building your own stuff. But obviously the ideas come a lot quicker because you're just remaking it, if that makes any sense. You don't have to worry about, oh, what shall I build here? What shall I do for this turn of this ride? You just have to worry about how to piece things together to make it look like the image you're trying to make. That's why it's more difficult, but it's also not. So yeah, trying to put myself in that mindset whilst also building Isle of Discovery, my custom theme park. If I can stay in the recreation mindset, I can promise you the next episode will probably be starting to go round into that area off to the right, which could potentially be Jaws or something. There is like a dark ride building behind it that is detached from both buildings, so I don't really know what that could be. It could just be that show venue that we've literally building right now, or it could link to that massive building behind, the Fisher Village type area, or we might end up doing more of this main street and building that hotel, which I think would be a lot better, because although it is our first major problem with not knowing what's actually there, it would be quite cool to see how that plays into it, because there's going to be a lot of elements of this entire park, building it where we're not going to know the inside of buildings, what dark rides they are, all that stuff, so I'm going to have to try and do that anyway. So it'd be good to get a start on that now. So I think the next episode will definitely be, if I have the motivation, which I assume I will, it'll be building that entire left side of the main street and that hotel off to the left too, because as said, these episodes do take a long time, so along with this and Isle of Discovery, it's quite difficult to manage them. I said that this was going to be a weekly thing. I don't know if it will be just yet. Maybe. With the other two, like This Past Week in Theme Parks and Isle of Discovery, I can literally guarantee you I'll try and get them out every week. I'm saying that the week after I didn't get This Past Week in Theme Parks out, but ignore that. There will be most likely episodes of that weekly, but with them two ongoing, it's hard to also do this one at the same time, if that makes any sense. And I don't want to burn out from this or do it really quickly and mess it all up. So that's why I won't guarantee a weekly schedule to this one, because I have no idea whether I can guarantee that or not. And also, there's time for other videos, you know, there's so much going on at the minute. When you're seeing this, the day after, there will be, well, you might be seeing this later down the line, but if you're watching this on the day it releases, tomorrow there's going to be a Launchpad opening day vlog at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, where I'm going to ride the ride. You're going to see a rider cam POV, hopefully. That'll be really cool to see. I'm also going behind the scenes of a ride at Alton Towers, so that'll be really cool as well, and I can't wait to show you that video. And there's so much other stuff. Paulton's Park next weekend, that's going to be a huge announcement potentially for that new Viking area. We're going to see a new roller coaster. Maybe that's going to be my next recreation, like whilst I'm doing this, Isle of Discovery, and then that. There you go, that's what we're going to do next. Make it even more stressful for myself, but when I say that, I am joking. It's not stressful at all. I do enjoy this. These two things are such a passion project for me. I just can't guarantee that I'll get videos out on time because I don't want to rush them, as I've said many a time. The theatre facade has gone in completely whilst I've been yapping. Literally, the entire theatre facade has this really nice look to it. It's sort of a little bit Hollywood golden style building. I don't really know how to explain it. And there's a lot of blue and reds in there too. You've got like the blue banner at the front that should say probably like theatre or something on it. And then you've got the white disc underneath, which probably has a proper name, but I'm not knowledgeable on that stuff, which shows what's on at said theatre. So that'll probably say James Bond Stuntacular, because that's what I'm going to say that is. I don't know whether it is for certain. James Bond doesn't appear to be anywhere else in the park, looking at the concept art anyway, other than potentially that massive show at the back, Waterworld. But I would imagine Waterworld will just come to the park as part of that Jurassic World section at the back, and then we'll have a James Bond show at the front, because people will still go and watch it, no matter how small of a show it is. You might as well put Waterworld in, and then a smaller James Bond stunt show, because people are going to go watch them both either way. So, yeah. What is this building then? You can see me duplicating some pieces from the actual entrance archway itself and changing the colours and putting that little, like, tiny building on top, if that makes sense. A lot of this was work that took many different tries. You can see here I'm deleting stuff, and even that little building on top, I do get rid of that in its entirety in a minute. Yeah, literally I'm making it bigger as we speak. And yeah, there's so much. Oh, here's the clock tower going in, because this does have a clock on the side of it, I believe, from the concept art. That going in, just using some Planet Coaster pieces, nothing special. I'm very much minding with this how many pieces I use for certain things, because if you use tons of pieces now, like I've learned with Isle of Discovery, you're gonna definitely feel the amount of pieces that you've put in your park. You'll feel the repercussions of that later down the line when you are finishing up the park, because my god, it's lagging so much now. So I want to hold off on that for now and do as much as I can outside and do it with as little pieces as I can. But with those pieces comes a lot of trial and error. I've mentioned it already, but just the amount of stuff that you'll build or place down and think, no, that's not the right thing. Like, look, here I'm trying different things for this, like, window that's in the concept art to a gift shop or whatever, and I'm trying, like, these little gold things, and they work, I like them. I think they look very nice. They look quite grand, which is what it looks like on the concept. And they did it for me, but there's so many different pieces that you can go through and check, like, oh, do I want to use that one? There's probably a piece that's even better to use for everything, really, isn't there? So yeah, there's just so much trial and error that goes into recreating stuff. You forget how hard it is to recreate. Like, 13 as a coaster, building that when I first built that at the start of the game's release, which is, what, 7 months ago? That's mental. Yeah, that was like full on trying to get that as good as I could. And it was kind of easy because, of course, it's just a roller coaster and there's so many different images of it around on everything. You know, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or even just Google search. Like, there's so much stuff. Google Maps, just go into Street View. I don't think you could. I think it's still in Corkscrew back then. But yeah, there's so many different references you can get. Whereas this, you just can't. There's literally nothing other than one concept art. I don't know why I've set myself this challenge. I genuinely had so many people saying, like, there's no way you've already decided to do an entire park recreation with one piece of concept art. Yes, I have. If you've never met me before, I'm an idiot. So there you go. That's why I've signed myself up to this. But there you go. That's the nice little clock tower in. There's like some archways on the left-hand side, and then this is that theatre sort of sign going in as well that you see above most classic theatres, or this one will probably be a Hollywood classic theatre. And yeah, you can see that going in with little art shapes, and there was actually an update during my time away that came out. No, it might have come out beforehand. I don't know. Either way, the update did include loads of things like restaurants and I think some new like ride de-themed cars. But one of the things that was never mentioned anywhere, and I don't actually know if I just missed this from all of the different changelogs and stuff that they sent, there was no mention of it anywhere until the update came out. But Planet Coaster and Frontier made it so the art shapes in the game can actually have loads of different scaling options, all the way down to like 5% of its normal size, which if you use small pieces, you will know that is a godsend. I cannot believe they have done that and not said anything about it, because I feel like everyone and their nan and the pigeon outside will be excited about that one, because genuinely it's the tiniest thing ever. Not the art shapes, just the update in general. That is the tiniest thing compared to everything else that was added. But my god, is it so helpful. So I will definitely be using that to my advantage when it comes to it. But again, that's one of those things that's just going to take up even more pieces. So I will try to use as little as possible. But I'm trying to make it as accurate as possible. So sometimes you got to use loads of pieces like this. See, using separate wall pieces, not using any of the big walls, just sort of towering up into a turret. And using loads of different windows here. I don't know what this building is, but literally past this point here, we now don't know what the rest of this main street looks like. Which is kind of terrifying, because now I've got to make the rest of it somehow using nothing other than seeing a few roofs, which obviously is going to be very hard to go off of. I will try my best, but yeah, from this point, you can't actually see round the corner. You can just see the shape of the buildings. And obviously you can't see the left-hand side either. So we've reached a point where it's going to turn into a little bit of my own custom recreation, if that makes sense. But I'm kind of excited for that. I'm excited to see what I can do. Who knows? Might even do some live streams or something of this series, just to sort of get your guys' involvement and see what you guys think of certain things. Or maybe like some of the insides of the buildings, like that theatre show. Could I build an entire set in there, or do I build just like a cinema? I don't know. We'll see. And what we will see in a second, once I've changed those pathways, as you can see, is the introduction of the main lake at the centre of the park. It was a little bit tricky to sort of get the pathways right here. I had to merge them together, and it was a little bit scruffy, but I sort it out later on, as you'll see. And then I realised in the concept art, there is actually some stairs down to a little viewing area where you can see that entire lake. But I should, in a second, to end off this little time-lapse section, there you go, start digging the entire lake portion. And I was originally going to actually sit there and just dig out a small portion of the lake, not even put the water in, But I thought, what's the harm in just doing the whole thing and leaving it like that? Because then we can get an idea of what this is going to look like. And when we go into real time, we can look off into the distance and see the lovely views of currently nothing. But soon there'll be a Jurassic World area we can see, a Minions land we can see, loads of other stuff like that. It's going to be awesome, and I can't wait to build this all in the game and then see it all in real life in about 6 years, which is really sad, the fact it's opening that far away, but I'm sure it'll fly by nonetheless. And here we go, here goes the lake, the full lake going in. I zoom out to the exact same angle that you can see on the concept art and just start digging. And we should reach a point where I do put the water in. And literally that's the area for Jurassic World up there. Just filled it with water. And we're good to go for real time. Hello there, and welcome to Real Time Planet Coaster 2. As you can see, we're outside the entrance. The park is open. I thought I'd keep it open because, you know, we've got some buses over there and everyone can just chill and walk around. There's nothing to do, but who cares? The original stone statue is still here. This will be here until the end. I can promise you that. And here we are then, the Universal Studios main plaza area. There's the globe spinning round, the archways in the background, and obviously over here I have built these very basic shapes for these buildings, but again, we don't know what they're going to be yet, so I'll probably do that with that left hand side of the main street. Added a tiny bit more to that building over there as we pass through the bushes to the main archways. It's really cool to actually walk through here. There's a little bit of a cover, but again, we don't know what's under there, so I am going to have to sort that out because, as you can see, the roof is a bit mid. There'll probably be something on the back of that says, like, I don't know, thanks for visiting, guys. But yeah, you walk in, you've got this lovely fountain area, got loads of foliage around, trees and bushes, and obviously the palm trees up there. And then you've got your first few buildings on the right hand side. Yes, that does look very odd, the fact there is an archway going through the archway. That's what it looks like in the concept art. And through that main building down there is probably some sort of lockers or something. I have no idea. Could be a staff area too. This building, as you can see, very sort of futuristic looking, some very strange shapes, a very cool looking roof, I guess, like kind of curved and like these little bits on the end of the... I'm running out of things to say. It's just a building. Got that fountain behind us once again. And then as we come down a little bit further, you've got that tiny little building and then the theatre that you'll be able to enter for a show of some sort. And of course, over here it would say James Bond Stuntacular. Up there, it'll probably say theatre. And yeah, that just looks really, really nice. It's not as grand as that clock tower, but I think that is amazing. As we come round to the clock tower, I think in here will be some sort of gift shop, because why not? Like, you could have like an area over here, maybe like a pushchair area or something. And then as you enter through here, there'll be a gift shop of some sort. Some more buildings that you can see in the concept art again, the sort of turret with the dome roof, and then you have the view right here. All these steps going down. I think the steps in real life would be a lot more straight. And then you will have that amazing view off into the distance of the brand new Universal Studios Great Britain. You can even go down there from the looks of it on the concept, which is why I actually added this section here, so you can just walk down and go around the lake a little bit like so. But yeah, you're going to see the entire park. There's going to be a Jurassic World roller coaster right there, Minions land off in that direction, and also Back to the Future. I keep forgetting about that, and that's my favourite part so far, and the bit I'm most excited for. But yeah, as you can tell, the view from the concept art is probably maybe like this sort of view, so you can sort of see this is why I'm building all this, because we can see it all. But we are going to have to bite the bullet and create this entire left-hand side and hotel in the next episode, I think. we're going to have to focus on that, and then we can focus on the rides and areas and start building some coasters and stuff. But I do love how this main street has come out so far, and I actually do hope it looks like this in real life, because it looks very vibrant, very nice, and yeah, just Hollywood, isn't it? I hope you enjoyed this update to the Universal Studios Great Britain recreation in Planet Coaster 2. There'll be more to come very soon. And yeah, subscribe so you do not miss that. Thank you for watching.